The RAD
Hi, I am Paul, the Hat Guy Flinders, and you are listening to the RAD podcast, Random Ass Discussion. Now, this week I was told that I wasn't going to have any guest hosts this week, so I was feeling a little bit lost, shall we say. So, introduce yourself, my friend.
This is Mikey Clark. The E stands for extraordinary. No, mate, stop that podcast. How you doing?
Great, mate. How's your week been?
That pretty much sums it up. I've had very little sleep the past 3 weeks or so, and I've worked about 40 odd hours in the past 4 days. So I'm ready for some time off and a JD or two.
That sounds like a pretty good idea. I've been drinking a lot of those ready mixed Jack Daniel and Coke sort of jobbies that you can get.
Oh, that's not a JD, mate.
It's not the proper one though, but when you're on a budget, mate, that's all. It will do. It will do the job. It will do the job.
I'll let it slide.
Yeah. Talking about your energy drinks, I suppose you not hear the welcome news, obviously, about that guy that's been drinking copious amounts of it and has suddenly managed to contract hepatitis.
Yeah, but it's a bit misleading the way when you read the headline, but on all headlines in media, really. From what he said, he was drinking 3 a day or something for several weeks.
I would love to know how he's still got teeth in his skull.
For like 3 weeks.
I'd love to know how he's still got teeth in his skull, drinking that many.
If he's like me, he goes to the zero sugar ones, but
they're not proper energy drinks. If you can't stand the spoon up in it, you know, it's got to be done. You can say, if you follow Lost Star or if you follow RAD podcast or myself or Adam personally, we're into our pound shop and cheap shops religiously. We kind of try to out pound shop each other, I think.
Cheap each other.
Out cheap each other, yes. But have you seen, like I said, I've seen them in Pound Stretcher and I've seen them in Home Bargains. Have you seen these like little malt drink things that are masquerading as energy drinks?
Is it the super malts or whatever they're called?
Yes.
I have seen them.
I've too scared.
I've never smelt it because I know a guy that drank it. He walked in one day when I used to work with him. I said, "What's that you drinking?" He said, "Oh, it's a malt drink, mate. Malt drink." I said, "What's that when it's at home?" And he's like, "It's just malt." And it's like, I don't know if it's like a Caribbean, like Jamaican sort of thing, maybe. Because like I've been to like London and stuff before, and it's like you go into like a corner shop and it's there, like pride in place in the fridge next to the Monster and stuff. But I don't think it's like an energy drink. I think it's just like a sort of standard. It's like probably like what cola is to us is super malt to them sort of thing.
It just says malt energy on the front of it. It gets me curious. So. See what I'll do, actually, now we're on the subject of that. Firstly, I'm going to say, next week, I'm going to open a can of malt, super malt, on air, and we're going to do a live taste review.
Oh, lovely.
And let you guys know what you think, because I keep seeing this can, and I think to myself, I almost pick it up and think, you know what, I do like the odd energy drink every now and again, and I've been too scared to try this.
I remember slightly going. If there was, do you remember the old half price or less shop?
Yes, that was the one in Hams Hill. Yes,
that's the one. I went with my brother one year. We went going to watch a film or something, I think, and I went in and got a bottle of Pepsi, and he got this can. It was a gold can. It looked like it looked like a battery.
Oh yeah.
But it was an energy drink at the time, but we didn't know it was an energy drink. It was said that it was sort of advertised. I can't remember what it was called or anything. I just remember it was a gold can, and it was basically designed like a battery.
It does ring a bell.
We were sat on the bus and he had a sip of it. He said, "Oh, it's bloody awful." That he went, "You try it." I could smell it. It smelled like a cross between Red Bull and Dr Pepper.
Oof. Cough medicine.
Well, it was sort of cough medicine, but like when you get like if you go in hospital, you get like a strawberry like syrupy medicine as a kid in the hospital.
Oh, Calpol.
It was like sort of the hospital's own Calpol, but on a budget.
Oh God, yeah.
That's probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. Yeah, I've tried. My son wasn't well not that long ago, and he was on Calpol for pain relief. And obviously, I go up to him and say, right, Dr. Dad's coming to give you your medicine. So, he gets him ready for his medicine. He gets his, he has his Calpol absolutely fine. He takes a spoon off me, tries to get. Then I was just sat next to him, and the next thing you know, he just shoves this medicine spoon in my mouth. Now, it's obviously got the remnants of this Calpol on it, and nothing could get rid of the taste. It was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Oh, fucking hell.
It's like, here's payback, Dad.
Yes, yeah, you give me this foul-tasting shit, have it back. I don't know how they get rid of the taste. It's I want to know what person decided that fucking Calpol needed to taste like, disappointment.
I have no idea, but if they're like, well, we can make it taste nice and it do nothing, or we can make it taste nasty but work.
Yeah, because every medicine... It is strange, though. Every type of medicine that actually does some good actually tastes like shit. It actually tastes like someone who's just shit on a loaf of bread and you've eaten it. That's kind of like the taste they're going for with general cough medicine. Anyone that's had Benylin will know exactly what I mean.
Oh, I think it was Benylin I had, or there was I bought. It was another pound shop find. I found this mucus cough stuff in the pound shop.
Fucking hell! Even when we're ill, we'll go to Poundland.
But it was one of them. It's like I can go to like Boots and pay £4 for a bottle of like proper cough syrup stuff that would work or taste nice, and this stuff tastes like bloody like ear medicines or ear drops or whatever. It was bloody awful. It's meant to be mucus cough stuff.
Make you cough up. Just on the fucking taste. The thing is, as well, though, we're both ill. We decided to go to Poundland. Fucking Boots and the chemists are closer. We spend more money on the bus fare to get there.
Like, Poundland's cheaper
than the bus fare. No, I'm saving money. I'm going to Poundland, but Boots is only round the corner. No, Poundland across the street. We'll go across town on the bus, but just what we're like, isn't it? But yeah, speaking of Poundland, I've all started getting the Christmas stock in now. I don't know if you've noticed.
Mate, I walked into Poundland today, and considering like probably on Monday they had all the Halloween stuff out, they've done a bloody quick changeover.
This is it. Everywhere is now all of a sudden it's Home Bargains up near me, near Manchester Square. They've got 3 aisles of Christmas stuff.
Yeah, 3
aisles. Now, this is one of my topics for the show is. Is it okay to talk about Christmas in November and to have as much exposure as it does in November?
Well, it's sorry, that's my chair just randomly creaking.
Hello, chair.
I think Mateus put it best the other day on Facebook when he said it's about how Christmas has become too commercialised.
Yes, very much so.
And it's not. It's like I have to agree with me. Things have completely changed for it. Like it's all about like you see now every year we're out on Facebook like, oh, the cola truck's coming. Check if it's coming to your town.
Well, this is it. So who the fuck wants to go out and see a red lorry in the freezing cold? Have a picture taken by it. Ooh, yay! It's blowing 60-mile-an-hour winds, but we could go and see the Coca-Cola truck. Nah, you're all right. I'd rather keep my kids nice and warm and watch a Disney film. Thank you very much. Or just watch the Coca-Cola advert and just get a bigger telly. Stand in front of it, pause it on the Coca-Cola truck advert, and take a picture in front of that.
Project it on the wall.
It's fucking warmer.
This is true.
It is a lot warmer. But like Mateus actually hits the nail on the head. It's all about getting your stock out and getting it sold. And the earlier it gets, the more I find it makes more people panic earlier, thinking they've got to get the Christmas shopping in. And perfect example of this is actually me and my partner realising, shit, we've got to get a Christmas shopping done.
Yeah. In
the middle of August.
I think it's one of those, though, again, that sort of it factors into, like, money as well, because I know, like, when I've worked at a couple of places, it was like payday fell on the 23rd, and it was like, right, payday's on a Friday, Christmas is on a Sunday, I need to figure out what I'm going to do.
Well, this is it, it's, you feel like you've got to rush out, because all the Christmas stock starts coming in, and you think, shit, I've got to get it all started. And in reality, you think, right, I've got to get this, get the other. And you realise you finished your Christmas shopping, halfway through October. Yeah. And even then, sometimes you think you've put it away, like we've done. We've got half our shed is full of Christmas stuff, which we forgot about. So we go and buy more stuff. You go to where we're going to put it in the shed. Oh shit, we've already bought all that. So you forget about it, you buy more, and then you get shops that do suddenly do sales like Sainsbury's.
The Boots is the one that always gets me, where it's like, oh, you can buy this. Boots and Superdry, I think, always do it. It's like, buy this link set where it's like a shower gel and deodorant. It's like, one by itself is £6, but you can get 3 for 12. It's like, can I just buy like the shower gel for £1? Buy a kind of deodorant for £1.50, and then just sort of tape them up together.
Get an old shoebox and shove it in, write links in mark then. But yeah, you see, I can get why they're doing it, because they want to push up sales and things like that. But at the same time, you get arseholes like me who are so bar humbug. I'd rather actually, have 1 week of Christmas and that's Christmas done. The missus told me today that we're not putting the Christmas decks up until the 7th of December because she wants the carpet, the sofa shampooed, and I knew enough in my head. I jumped for joy. It's like, it's 1 week less of decorations. Thank fuck. I can't. I really don't. I used to love Christmas, but I can't stand it now. I mean, it's what winds me up is how early people start. I'm expecting in the next week or so people putting Facebook statuses up. We just put our Christmas tree up. Be warned, if you're on my Facebook friends list and you put your Christmas tree up before December the 1st, you are getting off my fucking friends list. Simple as that. I do not want to see it.
It's one of them though, I think, as well. Like with the Manchester Christmas markets, they start like 20th, 21st of November or something daft. So it's like with them coming in, starting early November, late November into like back at about 23rd, 24th of December or something. Mm-hmm. I think that sort of also puts pressure on people as well. Cause it's like, right, I need to go to Manchester, I need to go and buy stuff, and I need to go into the markets, and I've got to do this, that, and the other one. I've got a Christmas party to go to, and things to sort out, and presents to buy, stuff to wrap, and
the Secret Santa.
Yeah.
In fact, my Secret Santa's fucking ace because I work on my own.
Secret Santa's a crap sack, mate.
Yeah, but this is what one of the things I wanted to do is one of the points of the Christmas crap sack challenge, which me and the Coxie are doing head to head. Is you don't need to spend 500, 600, 700 quid on presents to get a decent amount and have something to give to somebody.
Exactly.
£5 is more than enough to spend on just random stuff. There's a lot of people that would go out and be appreciative of that. But then you're getting, people that I know, can't go into names, but you give them the £5 and you think, well, where's the rest of it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is one of the things I want to prove, that you can actually do a decent job with just a £5 note.
Well, it kind of goes back to when I worked at a certain attraction. Not the dinosaur one.
Oh, not the amazing world attraction that was the dinosaur place.
But no, I worked at another attraction. I've finished early one day, and we had walked up into town together. We were having a chat. We happened to walk past Poundland, and she just like stopped me and said, "Oh, you can get your full week shopping Poundland." I said, "Where'd that come from?" And she's like, "Well, it just sort of hit me then." She's like, "All these people that complain about like, oh, I can't afford me bread and milk or whatever." It's like, you can go Poundland and get everything.
You actually can now.
You get your benefit, job seekers, whatever it is, however much you get, and it's like you're worrying about how much you got to spend and how much you got till next payday. But you can go Poundland, get your full week shopping. You've got your bread, your milk, your eggs, whatever. Maybe not eggs, but your bread, milk, butter, crisps, chocolate, tea bags, coffee, shower gel. I get my shower gel quite a bit from Poundland.
Home bargain to me. It's even cheaper. It's not even a quid.
I have to get my original sauce, mate.
They do a cheap version of original sauce, by the way, for the record in Aldi for about 79p, and it's exactly the same. I'm not joking. So what I've got at the minute, there's a deodorant you can get called Men's Zone. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's actually not bad. They do a Lynx Africa rip-off.
I possibly have.
It's actually not bad. Can't remember where I got it from now, but it's absolutely brilliant. The missus found it and just thought, hey, just try this shit. And I thought I tried it. I was like, you know what? It's actually not bad. It'll go with my work bag. It'll do for work. So yeah, it's in me bag. It's in me bag for that. So yeah, there's plenty of cheap options out there. But there's one problem with your theory about Adoli or JSA getting all their weekly shopping from Poundland.
What's that?
They don't sell Carlsberg Special Brew.
This is true. But for that, there's Home Bargain, surely. There'll be some sort of variant of it. If not, they can make their own in the bathtub.
Very true, very true. Just get the cough medicine we were talking about. They'll get fucking pissed off, Calpol.
They'll get some hand gels, like the 2 packs with the little bottles you get, and they'll be mixing that with some like lemon juice or something like round Shrove Tuesday.
The Poundland alcoholic concoction cocktail, if you will.
Here's how to make your own lemon vodka.
Hand alcohol and cough medicine, mix it together. What a big off. An early grave.
I was going to say, getting back to the deodorant, there's times I've been to like Manchester, so I've been on the train where it could be like summer. Of course, I had my coat on or something. It's been like red hot, so I get off the train, I'm sweating, I'm stinking. It's like, right, I've got to go to a gig tonight or something. No, I'm meeting friends. I don't want to stink, so I purposely walk to the Arndale, go in the pound shop, and buy a can of deodorant.
Why not?
Then just spray myself with it, and then just like either keep it in my pocket or throw it in the bin. If they stop me, or if security stops me, goes, you can't take that in. It's like, well, you to smell nice. It's like, you can have it by all means. I just want you to smell nice before I came in.
Well, that's a trick that Blackpool Transport are missing out on. You tend to go in, you tend to get the odd, what shall we say, the odd pungent passenger. Shall we say?
A few times, yeah.
Yeah, a few times. Why doesn't the bus driver have a kind of cheap Manzo? Just behind just underneath the steering wheel. If a passenger comes up, a little secret stash. The little passenger comes up. They put a little sign on and says, "Are you not happy with the stench of your bus? Are your passengers disturbing you? Come and tell the bus driver. We'll pass you our Manzo, and you can spray the fucker." Pong be gone.
On the trains now, if you get on some of the trains, I think it's like these new Northern trains or whatever. Well, I say the new ones, the new company. It's like, if you look at some of the carriage at certain points, it's like, I am carriage number whatever. If it's if there's not to your satisfaction, or if it's dirty or whatever, please tweet my number to Northern Rail at Northern Rail or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe they're already ahead of the time there, aren't they? Damn it, I thought I was onto an original idea then as well. I thought I was going to get rich and everything off Blackpool Transport, but never mind.
Well, they don't have deodorant under the seats yet, so it could be an idea they could implement. Yeah,
it could do, yeah, Just have it pop out the wall somewhere and spray them from above, take them unawares, so they have to wear it. You have to have it, yeah. Speaking of taking people unawares, the other day I was just funny enough, I was just coming out of Poundland, and we nipped into Boots to get some evening primrose for Mrs. And there was someone, they weren't. He wasn't there when we went in Poundland anyway. Because I'll tell you that now. We were in Poundland for about probably 20 minutes. We came out, and there was some random dude with like a wireless headset, sort of thing. Attached to some sort of amplifier speaker system. Stood on some sort of like soapbox sort of thing, and he was one of these religious nut kind of guys.
Oh God!
Yeah, and he was like saying, heaven isn't going to save you, God isn't going to save you, the devil isn't going to save you, nobody's going to save you apart from yourself, yada 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 yada. And he pulled up some guy just randomly walking past him, some innocent poor fucker. And he went, asked him, does he believe in God? And the guy very politely said, and I quote, "No, I don't believe in him. I don't believe in him." And he just turned round and just said to him, "Oh, actually, you do, don't you? Deep down, don't you? You do believe in him." But well, no. But what if I just the thing is, what my personal hates is people that force feed their beliefs or their ideas onto you and won't accept anything that's against their ideology or their ways of thinking. I just wanted to get your thoughts on something like that.
Well, if it was me and the guy randomly grabbed me, it'd be a case of either take your hand off me or you're going to get launched over there, mate, sort of thing. It's
Well, this is it.
There's judo reaction to play kicking. I can do a good Uchimata throw, so if I put him down, I'm going down with him. You probably would have got some land on him and win the fucker.
Well, you probably would. You probably would have got some good leverage because he was stood on something. So, but
it'd make him go higher. But no, it's if
there was a phone box stood right behind him, so you could have got some good damage.
I've either been sort of the. Sometimes people have pre-warned others about me and sort of said, "Well, this is the guy you don't mention religion and politics to him." Sort of.
And that's what am I doing? Religion.
Yeah, or I've made it clear to people before. It's like, don't mention religion to me, like sort of thing. Especially like the ultra-religious sort of thing. It's like your beliefs are fine, whatever. Just don't start preaching them at me and try and convert me. It's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. And normally they're all right with it. I've never met like a die-hard Christian extremist sort of thing, or like the likes of the Westboro Baptist Church. I've not met any one of them yet.
No, thank fuck.
But there's one that does stand out to me. There's a guy, I don't know if he still does it up and down Blackpool. He used to walk up and down with like one of them signs that says like the end is nigh on it or something.
Yes, he used to walk up and down Church Street, didn't he? And he used to have a few people with him as well, every now and again.
I'd been to this is when I was still at that that cinema, it's called again, Odd Ones.
Oh yeah.
And we'd been to a golf tournament at the Pirate Golf. It was I don't know who put it on, but I was sat at the bus stop on Central Drive waiting to get the bus home.
Fucking hell.
I'm just talking to this couple, and he's walking down like Central Drive to walk past his bus stop. I'm sure it was the same night, and he stops and gives this couple a leaflet, and he carries on walking, but he's doing this like really sort of like Vinnie Mac sort of walk, but less sort of arm flailing. He's just sort of like walking like he's walking with a purpose.
Was he singing "You Got No Chance in Hell"?
It would be like if it was like a choir version, maybe in his head. But
you got no chance in hell. Here's a leaflet.
Well, they gave this like couple the leaflet and carried on walking. It gets sort of up to the crossing, or before the crossing. The woman says to him, "What's this for?" And he's like, "It's something for you to read, but it's one of them where it's like it was like a double meaning thing where it says like, oh, there's such and such." Then you open it and it's like starts going off on the religious tangent sort of thing. I can't remember. I've seen a few of them handed out before. I've been given them myself, and I've always sort of binned them. And it says like one thing, but it goes off on like a bit of a tangent.
Yeah.
And then it says like, "Oh, religion is this and that for you," and it's like whatever. But no, she said like, "What's this for?" And she said something. He said something back to her, carried on walking, and she's like, "Well, I don't want it," or it's something to that effect. And he just turned around and went, "Because Jesus loves you," and carried on doing his like little walk. And it was one of them. It didn't really sink in until I got home afterward, and I realised what happened, and thought, that was actually quite amusing.
Fucking hell! Remember one time, years and years and years and years ago, and I was in town. I've just gone to buy from Woolworths of all places. Enter the Matrix. That's telling you how far back this was, hopefully. And there was a Jehovah's Witness sort of guy, a Christian or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
Ended up somehow parting 20 quid just to get him to fuck off. Yeah, he just bothering me and my mates, and we tried to walk away, and it was like, I just thought, 20 quid now, fuck off. I ended up getting 2 albums of Christian rock off him and 2 books. It was like, wow, I would have been less ripped off at Waterstones. But looking back, you think one of them things when you think back and a few years later, you think, what the fuck did you do that for?
But where are those albums? And can I listen to them now?
My mate, my brother's mate took them, and he actually said the guitar on them was actually really good. I was like, I'm just point like refused to wash them. I gave to him, pretty much washed my hands straight after. And he was just like listening to it just for shits and giggles on like your old personal CD player, and he says, "You know what? These the guitars actually quite good on them." It's like, you fucking lying. I was just watching. I was just playing Legends of Wrestling 2 at the time, so I wasn't that bothered.
Oof, I remember that game.
I enjoyed it. I tend to enjoy the shitter games. To be fair, I'm one of the rare examples of people that actually enjoyed No Man's Sky. So
to be fair, I did enjoy both Legends of Wrestling 1 and 2 because it was a game both me and my mate talked about in high school at the time. Because I think I was in year 9 when it came out. And
yeah, you're a couple of years younger than me, aren't you?
I'd not heard of it I only saw it by chance one day. It was in game, and I was like, "All right, Legends of Wrestling." Looked up a bit about it, bought it, and then I think about a year later I watched a review for it, and someone was like, "Why does everyone, including Andre the Giant, have a 6-pack?" It's like, I have no idea.
It's fucking true though. I'm thinking back of it. Yeah, everyone had
Everyone looked roided to fucking had a 6-pack.
Yes. Yes, they did. But I enjoyed it. It felt like it was the same engine as the old ECW games, wasn't it?
It was what, if I remember rightly, it was what the next ECW game was meant to be on, because there was possible plans for an ECW PS2 game or something like that, and that was going to be the engine it was going to be built on.
Yeah,
because they left a few of the elements in it, like you could do a top rope chair shot and like the animation pre-thingy animation that you press like R2 with a cane or whatever, and they do like the duck and then turn around and smack him with the cane. I think that was all meant to be included with it. Plus, you had Eddie
Guerrero was in number 2.
There was is it Eddie Gordy?
I think so.
No, Eddie Gilbert. Sorry, that was it. The old Booker, and there was like Sabu and RVD in it, and the Sheik, the original Sheik.
Yeah, that's right. You had a couple of British wrestlers in it as well, didn't you? Like Kendo Nagasaki and things like that.
That was in the second one, but it's UK exclusive.
Yes, that's right.
You had Kendo, Haystacks, Big Daddy, and was it Les Thornton or Les Kellett? No, not Mick McManus you had in it.
Yeah, it was Mick McManus.
They put those 4 in. It was a UK exclusive. They were the 4 UK exclusive characters just for the UK, and then I think they put them in on the 3rd game as well. But that was like a worldwide release sort of thing.
Yeah, I never played the 3rd one. I never actually even seen it.
You didn't miss much.
I honestly never seen it. I wouldn't mind playing it just for curiosity reasons.
Oh, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
It was because at the time Acclaim was sort of in the shitter with money and stuff and Martin Debts. They basically had the game made and ready to go, or ready to test, and basically went right. Well, we're closing down. Here's the finished product. He says with quotation fingers, and I think I remember buying it brand new on Amazon for like 15 quid at the time. This is on day of release.
Fucking hell.
Got it through, and I'm reading these reviews like saying it's buggy as fuck, and there's constant there's lagging, and some of the music sometimes doesn't play, and so it's like, oh well, let's try it anyway and just see. And of course, everything was true. But until if you played it on a backwards compatible PS3 and saved it to the hard drive, it would be less buggy for some reason.
Oh, that's weird.
No idea why.
That's weird. I'll have to get myself a backwards compatible PS3 now just for that reason.
You'll have to search the archives.
Yeah, I've been wanting one for donkeys, but I can't really justify it because I do have a PS2 and I have a PS1. PS1 games play in the PlayStation 3. So, I've got all that because I do have a bookcase full of PS1 games. So,
well, if I can, I think I still have it. So if I can dig it out wherever my PS2 games, I'll gladly pass it on to you, mate.
Oh, nice one. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Right. We'll move on to this next topic that I've got, which is not a nice one at all. Well, just reading a story on Facebook before. Now, being a parent, this kind of, twisted my stomach upside down. It was not nice. Read a story about 2 parents in America. Has to be America, doesn't it? And
America.
Injecting their kids with heroin.
Yeah, I did read the headline for this.
Yeah, saying
Sorry,
Sorry, mate, go on.
I was gonna say I read the headline and then sort of read it was the 2-line caption, which was like they told them it was sleepy juice or something.
They call it feel good medicine and sleep juice.
Yeah.
And they were living in like squalid conditions and things like that, really bad conditions. Don't know why. The reason they said it was home infested with rat droppings, but never expanded on it in the article. It was the son, but apparently the son was 6 and the daughters was 4 and 2, and they were injecting him with fucking heroin.
That's awful.
Like I said, as a parent, I think I mentioned this on the podcast before, but before I had kids, stories like this, I would bat a fucking eyelid. But as soon as you have your own, I automatically think, what if my child was in that position?
Yeah.
And that's how I empathise with it. And it just rips, it turns my stomach into knots, things like this. But they've been charged anyway for it. They've been charged with assault of a child in the 2nd degree, lawful delivery of a controlled substance to a person under the age of 18, unlawful even, sorry, and criminal mistreatment in the 2nd degree. So I'd love to know how it is in the 2nd degree, because 2nd degree is, say for example it was 2nd degree murder, that's the British equivalent of manslaughter, which is basically you went for someone but didn't mean to kill them. So if they were charged with the assault of the 2nd degree, that would mean that they didn't mean to inject them, surely. Unless I'm interpreting that wrong.
I'd have to look up American law in that, because no doubt there's multiple things in American law that are different to British law and all that sort of thing, no doubt. So it's...
Well, this is like, there was like off the rate faces themselves. But
even then, I want to know the mentality of, what if we give the kids our drugs? Would that help?
Well, this is it,
sort of thing. Like, not will it possibly turn them into addicts like us? Like later on in life and be relying on things rather than giving our kids a future. We're going to sort of put them in the same.
This is it. Even a child even in the middle of the night, and they've got colic, and it's 4:00 in the morning, you've not had a wink of sleep, and they're still screaming. And I have been in this boat with me first, and it's week day and night after night after night after night. And not once do you think, I'm going to do something to harm my child so they go to sleep. Not once does the thought cross your mind. So I'd love to know, like I say, what was going through the parents' minds. And thinking, do you know what's a great idea? Inject our kids with heroin. I'd love to know. Apparently, though, the son was giving evidence, the 6-year-old. And he described apparently how his father choked him before injecting him with I'm using quotation marks with my fingers, with feel-good medicine. So it wasn't even done willfully either. So it's just I just love to know how people think it's. It just, like I say, it's actually speechless on it. Actually, I did have a lot of things to say about it, but.
You done fucked up now!
This is where we had a little bit of technical difficulties, so I apologise for the abrupt break in proceedings, but here are a few messages from our friends.
Hi, I'm Coxie, better known as the host of the Lost Art of Podcasting. We cover reviews, opinions, listener-submitted topics, even interview special guests with our own odd sense of humour thrown in. You can listen to us on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, even Castbox, whatever that is. For more information, find us on Facebook by searching Lost Art of Podcasting. Follow us on Twitter at Lost Art Podcast. So join us, shall you? And now it's back to Paul and the guys for some random ass discussion.
Hi, welcome back to the RAD podcast. Cox is back from letting his dog out, so we're all good to go. So I'm just thinking, Metallica have just released their last song. I'm assuming it's the last song before the album gets released. It's called Hail Atlas, isn't it?
Atlas, something of. Unfortunately, I've not had a chance to listen to it yet because this is how busy I've been. I know it's come out.
I don't. I'll say I've listened to all 3, and obviously you'll have listened to the other 2 because you're a big Metallica fan like me.
Yeah.
What do you think? Well, obviously I was going to say all 3 songs. What do you think of the first 2?
Hardwired I thought it was, to me, it was, I remember talking about this, and I think it was my sort of vague, as I said to everyone that asked me my opinion of it, I said it sounds very much like saying that he should have been on Saint Anger.
It does actually sound very St. Angry.
But it was a decent track.
It's better than anything that appeared on St. Anger. I'm not being funny, it was.
Death Magnetic, though, was still one of the best albums they'd done, in my opinion.
Because that was a breath of fresh air at the time.
Yeah,
as a Metallica fan.
Themselves after Saint Anger.
Took them a long time, didn't it? Fucking hell, 8 years, was it?
Something like that, yeah. Hardwired Self-Destruct, it wasn't a bad song, but then the Moth to a Flame, I thought, it's even better. It sort of blew me away. Yeah,
Moth to the Flame for me. Well, yeah, it blew Hardwire out the water for me as a decent song. Don't get me wrong, Hardwire, I did enjoy it, and it was proper. It was like a proper nasty song. Which
it was a good return, a much needed return.
Yeah,
but it was, to me, it sounded like something they'd possibly recorded for Saint Anger and then gone, we'll keep that for another album, maybe.
Yeah, it's like they went to the Metallica's version of the random kitchen drawer, and that was what was like floating around. We normally have spare shoelaces, the odd cotton reel, or occasionally you might find, hang on a minute, there's a spare cat collar. But they'll there's a random, the song we've written here when I was pissed. It wasn't exactly the most complex song lyrically, was it? So
true. I'm guessing. I just had the thought in my head then of one of them possibly might have been written a few years ago, when Jay was possibly out his first kid, and he sort of sat there holding the baby, just going, "Oh, I'm going to self-destruct in a minute," because he wants to stop crying or something. He's like, his wife's, "How are you doing, James?" He's like, "I'm hardwired to self-destruct." He's like, "Ooh, song album."
Well, at least he did something sane, like write a song about it, not fucking inject him with heroin.
This is true. Though I'm sure there's a song on there called Sleepy Juice.
Hardwired for Sleepy Juice.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Oh, that went dark quickly.
But no, Moth to a Flame, good track again, sort of. Possibly a bit like Load Reload era, mostly more Reload.
Yeah.
But sort of again, a decent song. They've done well with that one. I need to listen to Atlas Rise. I just realised it's called.
Yeah.
But I'm tempted to hold off until the album comes out and just sort of sit and.
That might be an idea. I have listened to it. Now, I've only listened to it once. Now, it was okay. But for me, it was probably the weaker of the three.
Right.
Not saying it's a crap song by any stretch, but for me personally, it was probably the weaker of the three.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited for this new album. I really am.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to it. I've got my pre-order in.
See, I haven't done that.
I've got the special edition or deluxe edition, whatever it is. So I think it's like a 3-disc box or something.
Well, it comes out on is it the 19th?
18th or 19th, yeah.
Yeah. See, this is the blessing or this is a blessing for me, or a complete and utter balls up. Reason being, I can't pre-order it because if it comes out on the 19th, it's one day before my birthday.
Right.
So potentially birthday present material. So I can't pre-order this motherfucker because the missus might buy me one for my birthday. So if I pre-order it, I've got this Metallica album. Look, you motherfucker! I just bought you one for your birthday. Like, oh fuck! So damned if I do and damned if I don't.
Yeah.
So I've got to hang on.
You'll have to just sort of see if she goes into town the couple of days, the day it's out on your birthday or whatever, and decide. So, you're going in HMV by any chance? Like, no plans to go in HMV. And then just drags you around Primark for an hour.
See, the problem is she can do that anyway because without me knowing, because I'm off to Manchester for Preston City Wrestling that day.
Ah, right.
So I'm doomed anyway. So there's no way I'm gonna know or not know.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's gonna be able to get the sneaky on me for that. So like I say, I can't even pre-order and hope for the best, because if I do, I'll end up with 2 copies of it. So it's not good. But I have to tell you what I did. Speaking of Metallica, tell you what I did pick up the other day and play. I've still got the Guitar Hero Metallica game on 360. I played it on a Rock Band guitar, and it was for some reason I've really started to get because of that game. I've really started to get fond of the Merciful Fate song.
Oh, right.
The medley.
It's been a long time since I've listened to it.
I don't know. I've really gotten into it. It's becoming my go-to song at the minute for some reason. I just can't put my finger on why.
No idea for that.
So what would you say is your favourite Metallica song at the minute?
At the minute, I'd have to go with the Judas Kiss off Death Magnetic.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my standouts. But I have to say, like, my all-time favourite would probably be Fade to Black.
I like Fade to Black. Really like Fade to Black.
I've got the Cunning Stults DVD.
So have I. What an amazing concert that is, by the way.
It's a brilliant show, and I'm surprised more bands don't go for the actual middle stage setup. It looks amazing. But I watched Fade to Black on there for like the first time ever, and the riffs and everything is just perfect on it.
Yeah.
I just can't fault it, and I saw it live at Sonisphere. They played it live at Sonisphere in 2014, and I was pretty much near enough in tears because I've been waiting so long to see that song live. And I stood there with my mate Gareth, and I was like, "This is amazing."
Do you know what? This is going to be... You're holding on to something. You're ready to brace yourself. I'm a massive Metallica fan.
Yeah.
I've never been able to see him play live.
A lot of people haven't, mate. It took me till I was 26 to go and see him.
But I've not even been able to get myself to a festival, or I've never. Do you know what? Seriously, I've never been to a big gig. Never. I've never been able to do it.
There's rumours they are going to be touring next year.
If that's the case, I'm going to have to go. Well, the missus the missus is a massive Pink fan, and she's doing a last ever world tour, and she says she wants to go. Yeah, last ever cash in. So I want to go to Metallica's next cash in. So yeah, I need to. I've always said to myself, I need to see Metallica before they're past it.
Yeah.
And I'm getting the feeling that it's going to be, the time's running out very rapid. So.
Well, I've seen a few of the pictures on Instagram. They keep posting the set lists up for places they're playing at the moment, like they've done Puerto Rico and stuff like that. And the set list is a lot of old stuff, but they got all 3 new songs factored into it.
Yeah.
So it looks like a decent set list. So they played all the normal classics and stuff. Like they play One, Enter Sandman, Seek and Destroy.
It's got to be done. So that's their bread and butter, isn't it, when it comes to live shows? So you'll have to keep me hooked up on that, mate, because I don't have the because I've never actually gone and done that and seeked it out and what have you. You're more into sort of the music scene sort of thing. It has evidence for your interviews. So in fact, funny enough, I listened to you Zug Island interview today.
Oh mate, that was looking back on it. It's like all that things like if someone said to me in like a year, like what if you could redo any episode, what would it be? It'd be the Zug Island one, just to go back and redo the interviews. So I'd be prepared. I'm
not being funny, but as a interviewer, for breaking your interviewer virginity, shall we say, you did not bad, not bad at all.
It was one of them. I spoke to Jade and Bob, who both were awesome about it. And again, like Sin and Mike, I said to them before, and I was like, "Are we all out to this interview?" I spoke to the manager, and they were like, "Yeah, it's fine, go for it." And I sat there in the car, and I was like, "Shit, I've made no notes." Because the entire thing was based on me getting this iRig mic cast I'm using currently, and sort of hopefully it working and stuff. Then me not having to message Jade and Bob and go, well, it's not actually worked, so I've not actually managed to record anything. But it was good to sit in the car for 10 minutes and chat with them.
At least, the thing is, the fact of the matter is, mate, you kept your cool, and you managed to jerry-rig a decent interview out of them.
Yeah.
You know, so kudos on you for that one, mate. Seriously. Yes. You know, I do urge the listeners of the RAD podcast to catch that interview, because there is a little special competition on that interview as well, so...
I was a track from the album as well on that pod, which says I got permission from the producer Mike P to use. So
cracking song.
If that interview I wasn't as nervous as doing like interviewing the Lounge Kittens, which was walking into a room with like surrounded by their manager and their merch girl and the opener and the girls themselves, and sitting down and go, "Hi. Yeah, let's interview you and try and not shit it." But I went in prepared for that one. But there's a bit of random trivia because only one guy sent a question in, like a fan question.
Yes.
And I had it in my head all day. Who was called Doug, and even referred to him on the episode as Doug until afterward. When I looked back at it, went, "Fuck, he's called Dale." So. I emailed the guy after I'd recorded it and said, "Yeah, cheers for your question, mate. By the way, you may be referred to as Doug in the episode, which is my mistake because I had it in my head all day. You were called Doug."
Well, when it comes to the listener questions section in a bit, plus it's going to be very, 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 very easy for me because there's one person, his name's Darren, and he's sort of part of the show, so it's going to be quite easy later on.
For the next interview, I'm not going to get it right. I'm going to get it. I've fucked myself up there. I'm not going to get it right this time. I'm going to go in with my proper names. I'm going to go in with proper questions. I'm going to walk in all proper, and I'm probably just going to shit myself, thinking I fucked this up and walked out already before I've even sat down or said hello to anyone. So, and that'll be in November, or this month, later this month, when I hopefully interview Frank Turner.
Fantastic. So. I'm proper chuffed for you on that one, mate.
Oh,
proper chuffed.
I'm currently shaking in not anticipation, anxiety, mate.
Yeah.
As you can probably notice by my rapid speaking.
You'll be fine. You've done 2 cracking interviews so far. I don't see how you're going to balls your third one up.
Well, funnily enough, it was my mum that sort of suggested it because, like, in I think like September they announced tickets for Red Hot Chili Peppers in December.
Oh yeah.
And I said, "Oh, I'm touring, like they're on sale soon, but they're on tour in December, like on the 14th, you know, after my birthday, 10 days after." So, "All right, do you want them for your birthday then?" I said, "Yeah." I was talking to her about the interview, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to try and get one with the Lounge Kittens." And she said, "Oh, I'll try and get one with Red Hot Chili Peppers." I was like, "Yeah, that'll work. I'll just walk in like I'm the guy from a podcast who's going to interview you, hopefully." But I thought, no, I'll go small scale first. I'll try Lounge Kittens. I'll test the waters with Lounge Kittens, and I'll go fly it. We'll try a bit bigger, so I'll go for Frank Turner, and then hopefully I can sort of work my way up the ladder. Hopefully, but I'm open to sort of not just interview music stars. I'm looking to possibly sit down with people from the wrestling world and even just general people from general walks of life. Like I'm looking to sit down with Amanda from Trial Coast Radio.
Oh yeah.
I've requested a Frank Turner song falling up on her show tonight, and she said, "Yeah, we will sit down and I will talk nerdy to you because he wants to come on and like talk about geek and nerd stuff." And I was like, "That's fine with me. It's been called Talk Nerdy to me." So,
well, this time next year, you might, James Hetfield might be on your podcast.
Mate, if he did, I'd probably just die there and then a happy man.
That'd be the end of the podcast because you won't be able to top that. if I got Hetfield on this podcast now, that'd be it. That'd be it. Thank you for listening to the already podcast. Goodbye forever. That'll be it. So yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I've got a few. If you want to jump into, I've got a few random topics.
Yeah, go for it.
Popped up.
Go for it.
the first one, sort of, I'll cover this one first, even at the bottom of my list, because my last one's a bit of a standout, weird one.
Oh yeah, we like that. We like that.
So it was essentially, I was hoping like we were gonna have like Darren Allen on as well, but
So was I, mate. So was I.
Those fuckers. Screw you guys! I'm taking my podcast and going home.
Oh, I
am now. No, but it was essentially because I wasn't a factor into the lost art of wrestling / kayfabe, as Bunker keeps wanting to call it.
Yes.
At Hell in a Cell this past week, we had the first ever not only female main event, but
female
also a female Hell in a Cell. And I just wanted to gauge your opinion on that happening.
Why not? Why not? Because they're made of flesh and bone, just like the males. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? You know, if they've got the skills to pull it off and to sell, and not make Oh, I mean, I've seen I'm not being disrespectful to female wrestlers, but for example, you see male wrestlers getting Irish whipped into the ropes, and then you'll see a female wrestler whipped into the ropes. It kind of like you notice they slow down quite a bit before they hit the ropes, if you know what I mean. But if they're willing to go full-blooded in a Hell in a Cell, make it look like they need the cell, why not? Why not indeed? Like they did. I mean, I wasn't expecting the use of weapons in the match, and they used the chair, for example. I mean, the backdrop that Sasha Banks took was brutal. Well, it looked brutal.
I had a chance to watch the match myself yet. I'm going to hopefully do it tomorrow. But I've seen the pictures and I've read the results, so I know what happened and stuff like that. And I've seen the pictures, like the table coming into play and stuff like that.
Yeah, it didn't break,
but a few people
still.
said like, "Oh, it was a brilliant match." Naff in it, like lame finish.
No. End of the day, the match wasn't about the fact that what the finish was. What people should be looking at, the fact is, like, holy fuck, they actually did it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, It's opening doors for what more can they push this women division to do. The fact of the matter is now they've done a Hell in a Cell, why can't they do a TLC? Why can't they do ladder matches? Why can't they do this, that and the other?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'm thinking, because I'm saying that they can't do it now because they've got a split women's division, haven't they? They've got 2 championships. But what I was going to suggest was that perhaps they could do a female version of the Royal Rumble. Things like that. But why can't they do these more hardcore style matches? Obviously not going to go like CZW style or fucking Japanese female hardcore wrestling where they're using light tubes.
I've seen some things.
Yeah, you have seen some things.
But, there's one compilation I've seen where it was like an exploding barbed wire death match between 2 women. And at the end of the match, there's it's a brutal power bomb. It's more like a hangman's DDT sort of thing.
Fucking hell!
It's like replayed over and over again. Like you see this, like it's a brutal sound. But it's like just getting back to you saying about like how women hit the ropes and stuff. And it's like sort of from my own experience. Like I've stepped into a ring before. I did 9 months of training. I have respect for anyone who can and does do that on a daily basis, sort of thing. It's because I did my knees in, I did my ribs in, I did my back in. I got kicked in. I nearly broke my nose nearly broke my nose in 2 separate places. But I got hit in the face hard enough to near enough break my nose. Luckily, I didn't. But it's a difficult thing. Like you see these pictures of people with like we did running the ropes today, and it's like they got a fully grazed side from it, and it's
not nice. It doesn't look nice. I mean, if you're constantly doing that, you got to realise they're not ropes. It's wire. I mean, steel wire.
Well, it's WWE uses actual rope.
Oh, they use actual rope.
They use actual rope. TNA uses the
steel
lift cable, which is the same ones same style WCW used.
Nice.
So yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. That sounds like a barrel.
But no, I have utmost respect for Sasha Banks and Charlotte for doing that, for going on last.
Yeah, that's some pressure because it's not only the first female pay-per-view main event, it's the first ever Hell in a Cell female Hell in a Cell to headline a show. That bravo to them.
Well, it's that thing like I can't remember if I might have brought it up on the Lost Art of Wrestling before, where I've said about how I've seen women's matches since the women's rights movement's all kicked off, saying women need more time on air on Raw and SmackDown, that they have at least one women's match per show. But how some of them it'd be like a 6-diva tag match at the time when we still had the divas, and none of them get entrances, and the match would be over in 10, 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's not. It's like, oh look, we've included our token women.
Yeah, Here's your quota for the week. So we got dressed up, we put all our makeup on, we got our hair done, we get no entrance, and we're just going to stand on the apron while someone gets pinned.
Yeah,
right. See you on SmackDown.
This is it.
And it's I remember what I watched one of my favourite women's matches. I'd probably have to say was Emma and Paige from the very first Takeover.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a brilliant match, but then again, there's like Sasha Banks and Bayley from Takeover Brooklyn, was it?
Was that the Iron Lady match?
I think so, yes, which was again a really good match.
Yeah, that was a cracker.
But it's like this one thing I noticed about Bayley. It's nothing against Bayley. I think she's brilliant. She always looks like she's going to cry.
Yes, she does. She looks very starstruck, doesn't she?
She looks over emotional at everything.
Yeah. Very much so.
And it's I thought I was the only person to notice it, but it's things like she looks like that sort of person where she's going to do a promo, but she's like going to sort of point them and go, I'm going to fight you. And everyone's supposed to like pat her on the head and just go, oh, aren't you cutie? Sort of thing, like, you run along and you go and play, we'll sort this out for you. And then there's like William Regal's kicking shit out of Sasha Banks or something.
But that's how she gets them off guard. You see, your dog just growled then, didn't he? She
sat at the back window, like looking at her own reflection from the sound of things, or she's placing the hedgehog or something, no doubt.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, that's what Bayley does. She look, in the promo, she's almost crying, but as soon as it's at the back's turn, she does the growl. That's Bayley. But yeah, what do you think about the overuse of Hell in a Cell nowadays?
It was fine when they first started doing it, like the actual match itself.
Yeah, to end a feud.
But then to have it as a pay-per-view and have like this year they had 3 matches on it. Excuse me, that were Hell in a Cell. Sort of a bit overkill. Yeah,
the way they should do that is either scrap the whole pay-per-view off and have it as just like a feud ender, or go whole fucking hog with it and have every single match in the cell.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Well, to be fair though, didn't TNA do that? It was called 6 Sides of Steel.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Or Lockdown, whatever it was called.
Yeah, but it made sense at least. It did make a bit of sense. Oh, it obviously was shit, but it made sense.
This all covers back to the other one TNA did, where they had like was it the Thunderdome cage or something they called it?
Yeah.
Where you had to sort of climb up the cage and then like sort of climb, then get to the angled bit of the cage, but pull yourself up and then through the hole at the top. Which I remember Homicide tried doing, couldn't do, so he had to escape through a cameraman's hole.
I was going to say, didn't Homicide win on them matches? I also remember Jeff Hardy returned to TNA in one of them matches. Didn't he? Am I getting it completely fucking wrong?
Idea, fella. My recollection of Jeff Hardy is making up his theme song, twisting the lyrics in his theme is another Me theme song. After his very disappointing match to Sting, in which he pretty much was off his tits on whatever, and
yeah, the 30-second what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Another druggie is what I'll always be. I got high and lost a sting on a PPV. There we go. That's my singing talents for you.
That's our new intro, by the way. That's our new intro.
But there was also a podcast my mate got me onto, which is the OSW podcast.
Oh yeah.
And one of their episodes, I think it's like the Heatwave '98 episodes. They said they were talking about how they were they were at a TNA like live event, and Jeff came out, but they were at the front. They were all a bit drunk, and it was like an actual like barricade thing, like a steel barrier.
Aye.
So as Jeff's walking past, he puts his face between like the two like rails in the barrier. He goes, "Jeff, look familiar." And when I first heard that, it must have been about 2 a.m. and I nearly fell off my chair. I was laughing so hard. I had to put it on repeat. I was texting my mate going, "You need to listen to this segment."
Oh my god. You bastard as well have made me laugh out loud. What, on your podcast.
I aim to please, mate. I aim to please.
I can't remember exactly what it was as well, which annoys me to pick the fuck because I wish I could listen to it back. But I remember playing Project Cars on the PS4, and I was halfway through a 3-hour race, and I was just in the top class, and I was about to lap a back marker from a couple of classes behind me.
Yeah.
So I was like probably like 7 laps ahead of this guy that I was overtaking, and I was listening to your podcast as something was said. I literally ended up closing my eyes. I was laughing. Next thing you know, an Audi LMP1 car decided to mate with like a Corvette, and I kind of rolled the car. Yeah, and that was like, Coxie, that was an hour and 45 minutes, and you've just wasted that. You funny motherfucker, you.
But you remember the moments.
I remember the moments.
So.
It's one of them gaming moments that I remember quite vividly. The two what I do remember most vividly for me, other than that, was the time when I was on Forza Motorsport 2. Absolutely properly outbrake someone clean as a whistle, going into a 90-degree right-hander, going into the next corner and promptly spinning out. So I felt like, yes, I'm the best driver in the world. Yes, next corner. Shit. And played SmackDown 2, and my brother used to play it a lot before I did, and it was in the backstage part in the bar, and we were just battling away, and my brother just went, "You just wait there for a second," and ran into the back, and it went completely dark where he was. You couldn't see him. The next thing you know, you just see him running out. He's got a fucking mop in his hand, and I'm just like, when you're not expecting it, it was absolutely hilarious.
There was I always remember SmackDown 2 when I was it came out when I was in high school.
Yes.
And we had me and my mate we'd constantly talk about it, and we got to give these like free notebook planner things through school. Yeah. But it was like Pepsi, sponsored by Pepsi or something.
Oh yeah.
Really fucking weird books. And he decided he was annoyed at the fact like Lita got with Matt Hardy. Super annoyed about it. He's like, "I'm gonna have a match tonight against Matt Hardy on SmackDown 2." So he wrote down like in his book like TLC match. I think he put himself as like Vinnie Mac or something. He's like Vince McMahon versus Matt Hardy, the TLC. Walked in school day after, said, "So what happened?" He went, "I lost." I said, "Wait. What?" I went, "Yeah, he was like I'll try to get him on a table. He reversed it, put me through a table, give me the twist of fate, and just pinned me." I was like, "You don't have to a rematch?" He went, "No, I got too angry."
I snapped my controller in half so I couldn't play on. Oh god, I've got to be honest with you, I don't have that many moments where the point to throw.
That was the TNA game for me.
Oh, the TNA game was shite. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I don't tend to play games that make me angry. I just tend to have games. I don't like playing multiplayer. I like playing on my own.
Yeah,
unless it's Forza Motorsport, and I do end up going online and doing half decent until you get the odd crasher who decides to drive backwards and take you out for no apparent reason. Yeah, I love cunts like that. I fucking hate them.
But I played SmackDown. I think
I think
15 online.
Your audio was a bit iffy then.
All right, I'm in the back kitchen now. I'm wandering around my house because my dogs decided to go outside.
Oh, okay then. That'll be why your internet's going iffy.
But I was playing. I think it was 2K15 online to get a trophy.
Oh yeah.
And I got put in I've just picked put me in any random match with two people. I don't really care, or put me in a match with a person. Just match me up with someone, sort of thing. And it put me in a match. I think I was Cactus Jack. There was a guy with his own created character, and the other guy was Dolph Ziggler.
Oh yeah.
The guy with the created wrestler decided to spend the entire match just beating me down, while Dolph Ziggler taunted. Of course, this is like an elimination Hell in a Cell or something, or triple threat Hell in a Cell, something like that. So Dolph Ziggler keeps taunting to get his finisher. I've got the other guy who's constantly beating me down for no reason. I'm guessing they're just friends who just team up on people for no reason.
Aye.
Dolph Ziggler hit his finisher. I managed to kick out of it somehow. And then the other guy got his finisher, put that on me, and I just couldn't kick out.
Mm.
And so I just sort of left the session. I was like, well, fuck that. But
yeah, you get the odd dickhead like that.
TNA, on the other hand, I actually had to stop. I just turned it off and walk away from my PS3 because I just couldn't. I was too angry with it. Where I felt my PS3 controller at the time like on the verge of snapping. Like I could feel plastic bending.
Oh, I've been nearly there. I've actually, do you know what? I remember one time. I don't know why I got so angry and irate. It was a section on one of the. I think it might have been SmackDown versus Raw days, and there was a section where you had to beat up Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
And
I think I remember that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, you're starting to sound like a dirty phone caller by the way you're breathing.
I've got the mic sort of close to me, sort of thing. I can put it on. I'll put it on low. There we go.
God, but yeah, I was trying to beat him up and this, that, and the other. I couldn't do it at all, and I was getting really irate and what have you. And I was really getting pissed off. And the ex at the time said, "Why don't you just take that game out and play something out?" And I just went, "Fucking right, I will." Took the disc out and snapped it in half. I actually smacked the fucking disc up. The ex-girlfriend's looking at me going, "What the fuck are you doing?" That's exactly what she sounded like, actually.
Well, I think it's 2K11 or WWE11, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Or 11, 12 or 13 it was, and you're like your first encounter like career mode is you get put in like a backstage handicap with Husky Harris and someone else, and they just constantly can't. It took me like 3 or 4 attempts to actually beat them.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Fucking dog.
Oh, guest appearance by Cox's dog.
She's barking at things she can't see.
It sounds like half a Blackpool.
She's disappearing, aren't they? So sad.
We are currently having technical difficulties. Oh, God. So you got any other topics you want to talk about, my friend?
I have, but they're on my laptop at the moment. I'm waiting for the dog to get back in.
Oh, okay, then. So, we'll do one of Darren's listener questions, then. And he asks, the first one is there such thing as free will?
Yes.
Yeah, because no one's going to be able to make you do something. I'm not being funny, but even if someone put a gun to your head and says you've got to do either A, or, they're going to pull the trigger. You still have the option, even with the gun to your head, to do option A or not to do option A. Even if not doing it, you get the brains blown out. You still have the option to do it or not. So, yeah, you can. Yeah, there's no one ever makes you do anything. The only thing that you can't not do is not eat and not breathe.
And sleep.
Because eventually you will fall asleep. You will eventually. Well, you're in that much pain through not eating or drinking. You will eat or drink unless there's nothing available, and you can't get to anything. And breathing, you try and hold your breath for so long. You know what I mean? You know, you automatically start breathing again. So yeah, the free will. Yeah, there always is free will, regardless. Are you back at your laptop?
I am, yes.
So shall we talk about one of your lovely topics?
Yeah. Well, I've got obviously the female match one.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of posts off Ladby which caught my eye today, so I'll cover one of them first. One was transport related.
Oh, fantastic! We're we've been living in Blackpool. We do actually, to be fair, we do have quite a good little transport system when it works. When it works.
The key word there being when.
Yes. Because when it does work, it's a pretty good little system, because you've got your buses, which, you're not being funny, you can get to everywhere in the town, even the little outskirty bits, quite easily from anywhere in town. And if you're not near the front, all you need is the tram. Yep. You know, and that's pretty regular, every 15 minutes, and that runs from 5 o'clock in the morning till 1:30 at night, in the morning, so... You know,
sometimes they're even more frequent, especially like the illuminations this week. I got the tram home from work the other night. I stepped out of work, just missed one, crossed over. There's another one coming 30 seconds later.
This is it. They've got to, though, because they're rammed, aren't they, at this time of year?
Yeah. So, but no, it's the topic I found. It caught my eye because I used to be, as a kid growing up, I was quite a big fan of trains.
Yes, I can relate to that because my son's mad about them.
And there's somewhere in Germany has purchased a load of zero-emission trains that only put out steam.
Oh. Now, are they run on hydrogen by any chance?
They do.
Yeah, because they've got the same sort of technology in cars at the minute. Now, we were talking about this last week or the week before about Audi pulling out of the LMP1, the World Endurance Championships altogether, and it's got to hydrogen technology has got to the point now that Audi was considering even racing one at Le Mans in about 2 years' time. So the fact that they're sticking these hydrogen engine sort of things in trains doesn't shock me in the slightest. Because I'm not being funny, you could fit them in anything. I wouldn't be surprised eventually you'll get planes powered by hydrogen. You know what I mean? It
wouldn't surprise me, but it's going to be a long way off, I think, for planes.
Yeah, it'll be a long way off, don't get me wrong, but eventually we'll end up going that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, cars and trains are absolutely feasible.
But it says they can do about 87 miles an hour.
That's fast enough for locals.
They can do about 450 miles per day.
That's not bad.
Off a single tank. It's a lithium-ion battery, which is powered by a hydrogen fuel tank. Which then says it's also very quiet and should be a more comfortable travelling experience. This
is what the future's heading towards, because obviously we're phasing out fossil fuels as much as we possibly can at the minute. And to me, it seems like from what I've seen, because the only output is water.
Yeah. You
know, it's essentially just water. There's no downside to it. It's just expensive. It's just so expensive at the minute. But I think Honda are rolling out a car next year that runs on hydrogen.
Right.
And General Motors had a Vauxhall Insignia running on one about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, they had it on Top Gear, running on hydrogen. So it's very feasible. You know, it's going to be mainstream pretty soon. And I can see the local train networks, because in places like Germany and France and things like that, they have the local networks, which have the slower commuter trains like we have here. Yeah. But they also have the TGV, like in France, which goes 250 miles an hour.
Right.
Which I've been on. They're the double deckers, and they are fun. They are really quick.
This is going to be used in Lower Saxony, wherever that is, somewhere in Germany.
Yeah, it'll be a trial, won't it, to see if it's any good.
They're looking at trialling them by the end of this year, but they're not going to be out until probably the back end of 2017.
Yeah, you probably get the odd one or two doing the odd track run, probably with no passengers for a bit, because that's what they did I'm using quotation marks again, new trams, because they've been on the system now for about 4 years, haven't they? But before
a little tidbit about them I did find out was that they were for them to have a full test when they went to 100,000 miles.
Yeah,
before going out, and I don't think they even made that.
No. No, there was one as well that they did. They ran it, and it basically turned into a giant inferno in front of the tower, if you remember. It basically, it set on fire, and it set it back, because they were going to roll them out that year, and then it burst into flames.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a massive shell, so, they rolled them back. So, they're not exactly 100% safe, shall we say, but, nothing ever is. You take a risk setting foot out your front door anyway, so... Fuck it. At least it's warm. Oh dear. But it's a good thing. Anything that reduces global emissions is a good thing. That's my opinion.
All for the greater good.
All for the greater good, Besides, like I say, it's all water, and as being a motor racing fan, the best thing to spice up a motor race is more water. So... more water the better. So you said you got something else as well from that Bible, or the likes.
I read it this morning. It just sort of weirded me out a bit. There was a woman playing a slot machine in New York. She got a picture of herself with the machine that she was winning, that she was on, saying she'd won $42 million. Or $42 million or £35 million if you want to go for the British thing. But then apparently the guys came over to sort of check it, and they said, the machine has malfunctioned, and it printed off a ticket of $2.25. But they offered her a steak dinner as compensation.
Now, I believe, from what I understand, they do have disclaimers knocking around on every machine saying that if there is a malfunction on the machine, that they don't have to pay it out.
Yeah, it's from what I'm reading, it was a penny slot machine, so I'm guessing it was pretty like a 2p machine to us, sort of thing. Like if
a tuppenny nudger.
If a 2p machine flashed up saying you won 20 quid, it was dodgy. But the New York State Gaming Commission confirmed it was a malfunction.
Yeah, so apparently she's considering. Was she considering legal advice?
She's planning to sue, apparently, because it's they're saying the machine was broken, but she's upset because she thought it would have changed her life forever. But there's also the sort of argument that, as Lad Bible said, does it mean that a place can claim a machine is broken every time somebody wins?
Well, this is it. Well, there's that. But if they can prove it, like, for example, like you say, if it was a tuppenny nudger and all of a sudden you say, wow, you won £200 jackpot, but hang on a fucking minute.
Yeah.
For a start, A, is a tuppenny nudger going to cash out 200 quid? And B, what the fuck is a tuppenny nudger going to pay out in?
Exactly, yeah. You might get a key ring if you're lucky.
But they're looking like that scene out of Mr. Bean when he's at the fairground, running at the 2p machine. You will pay out that £200.
There was a machine. I remember I used to go to Sandcastle quite a lot as a kid.
Oh yeah,
with my brother, and we'd sometimes be there queuing to get in, and I'd sort of, as I sometimes stood in the queue, I'd be looking at the gambling machines, and sometimes they say on the side, like, maximum jackpot could be like £45, but if it's not witnessed by a member of staff or security, then the winnings will be taken off you.
Because they're not witnessed it, how the fuck do you know you've claimed it?
Exactly.
Claim it and fuck off. When was last? Have you ever been on them bandit machines and won something? It says you get to above that price, and you got to get a member of staff. Who the fuck's going to walk away from their machine? As soon as we've won 25 quid, oh wait, someone else has claimed it while I've been away.
Well, it was the thing of like how it was always sat in the back of my head thinking they must have to, like, what have you got to do, like call someone over and go, I'm playing this machine, you've got to stand and watch me in case I win the £45 jackpot.
I'm surprised. How is everyone in Blackpool? How is there such a big unemployment crisis in Blackpool then? If all they've got to do is like they've got to hire one person for every machine and watch them play, in case they win a jackpot.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a joke. I mean, when was the last? I've never waited. If I ever played them machines, which it's been fucking donkey since I have. I never waited for anyone. I just went, I'll claim it, see you later. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
like there can't be like a camera on every. There can't be a camera like down on every machine or something. Thinking that guy just won a jackpot. We'll check that out.
exactly.
Right.
It's not exactly you can't rob the machine, can you? You know, it's not like you can if you've got a. Funny enough, that reminds me. I remember one time. I think it was a night time. I was on Central Pier, and it was fucking clear as day. I can't believe it. There was a man and a woman on Central Park. I think it must have been like bonfire night or something like that. Because I was out watching fireworks. And just clear as, not even bothered about who's watching. There's a guy comes up with a fucking crowbar. A fucking crowbar. And they've got underneath the old wooden cabinets, they had like the coin drawer.
Yeah.
And he got it in, smashed it into the side of it. Woman hands him a fucking lump hammer, starts whacking away at this bleeding crowbar to get inside the machine, rips it open, grabs shitloads of 10p's, and just walks off. And I'm thinking, as a 10-year-old thinking, oh, there's a 10p they've dropped, I'll have that.
It's it reminds. I was playing. I think it was in like Southport or somewhere once. I was in an arcade, or it might have been like Fleetwood Pier when it was still there.
I was going to say you'd be swimming now.
It was a pair I thought I saw. But no, I was playing a 2p machine. The guy comes up, he's playing like the 2p like segment thing next to me, and you can tell he's not winning or whatever. And it's like he just bangs the machine as hard as he can, and it sets the alarm off. And I just looked at him, and he's just like, "Was that you?" he just sort of pulled a smirk, and I'm like, "Right, whatever." And I just sort of got me winnings, like my 4p or whatever, and walked off to the next machine.
Yeah.
But it's like I was in Killing Time once when I was still worked at the island. I popped in Coral Island. I thought, well, I've got a spare quid. I'll go and play the 2p's for a bit. And I was playing one, but it was on like part of the slope, towards the slope. Of course, people are constantly walking past it, so there's 2p's constantly just dropping down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And there was like kids going around trying to sweep them out, and he went, "You playing this machine?" I said, "Well, yeah, I'm stood in front of it, mate." He's like, "Well, are they your winnings in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's only like 10p or something in 2p's." But every now and then I'll sort of keep my ear open, just like a little clink, and I'll check it. And it's like, "Oh, there's 4p in there, that'll do."
Yeah, you automatically do it. You know, you're not supposed to take it. You just think, is anyone fucking watching? You think, swiping. You think. Honestly, I don't know why. I always look around and think, is anyone looking at me? You know, as I'm walking through, because I always use it as a free fare.
Yeah.
And 2p comes out at the bottom. So I always look around and think to myself, am I a fucking criminal picking up 4p? I'm like, you fucking dickhead, it's 4p.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's terrible. Right, have we anything else?
Well, I've got a couple. Well, yeah, about 3 more topics.
Go for it.
Well, the first one is all-time favourite cover songs / notable mentions.
Well, like I say, my favourite cover songs are the covers that Metallica have done. I can't really put a finger on any particular favourites, but the Merciful Fate medal is good. But I also like Blitzkrieg. I quite enjoy Blitzkrieg and Whiskey in the Jar. Whiskey in the Jar that they did.
See, I like for Metallica cover that I have to go with Tuesday. Tuesday Is Gone.
That's quite good. I quite like Bread Fan actually as well.
Yeah. So What? Another good one.
So What?
In live.
Nice. Yeah, I can't play that one. I'm not allowed. Yeah, I'm not allowed to play that one with the Kiddie Winks here in it. So yeah, that's not on the playlist, unfortunately. I wish wish it would be. I always have had a soft spot for astronomy as well. Quite like astronomy. But the probably favourites up there is going to be either Merciful Fate or Am I Evil? One of them two.
Yeah. No, it just sort of stood out to me as a question because it's with watching Stranger Things. There's Peter Gabriel covered David Bowie's Heroes.
Oh yeah.
And I've always loved the original, but then sort of Peter Gabriel sort of took it and made it his own. There was not only that, but there was also Motorhead doing "Sympathy for the Devil."
Nice.
Which they used at WrestleMania 30, whatever one it just was, 2 or 3, whatever.
Yeah. Oh.
So that's always like stood out to me as like that's one of my new favourites because I play it in work constantly if I can.
Yeah. Yeah, they're my favourite cover songs. I'm trying to think if there's any more that I particularly like. That's a bit more mainstream, if you will. But I can't really think of any. Yeah.
So we'll go off the air in a bit, and you'll be texting me or messaging me going, "I thought of this cover. There's this cover."
More than likely, yeah. Definitely, can see it coming. Tell you what, I got one now. It's a Disturbed song. It was originally sung by Genesis. Can't remember what it's fucking called.
Would it be Land of Confusion?
That's the one. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I quite enjoyed that one as well.
A lot of people talking about Disturbed recently covering Sound of Silence as well.
They did they covered a Metallica song as well, live, and I can't remember what the fuck it's called. Which one it was? Was it Fade to Black?
They did Fade to Black, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I found it on the LimeWire.
Yes, I think that's where. Funny enough, that might be where I found it. But yeah, it was quite. Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. I remember Korn doing a cover of One.
Yeah,
up to
they did MTV. MTV did MTV Icon Metallica, and you had each like band they have like several bands on doing covers. Like Avril Lavigne did Fuel. Snoop Dogg did a bit of Sad But True. Stained did Nothing Else Matters, if I remember correctly. Limp Bizkit did Sanitarium, and Korn did One. Yeah,
it did up to the solo, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which disappointed me. But it was quite a good version of what they did sing. So yeah.
Very nice. So yeah, following on from that, I've got your go-to sort of film or TV show that raises your mood.
Like that makes me feel better.
Say you're in a shit mood or something, like you have that film or TV show you watch that instantly lifts your mood.
That's a good question. At the minute, it's Game of Thrones for me that improve. Let's just sit back and enjoy it. Because I don't really watch that much TV. So I've got to say it's something like Game of Thrones. Film-wise, let me think. Probably something like Die Hard. I'm a massive action fan. Die Hard or, I don't know, the original Total Recall or something like that. Pulp Fiction's a definite winner. Definitely. Just trying to think what else. I've got quite a plethora of films that I've watched. Ferris Bueller's good. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
That, it always cheers me up a bit. There's quite a few films that do. Can't really think about else. Just looking at my DVDs and. Tell you what's a sleeper one that makes me always feel a bit better. Actually, it's a film called Envy. I don't know if you've seen it.
Doesn't sound familiar.
It's a Jack Black, Ben Stiller film.
No, I've not seen that one.
I'll have to let you have a borrow of it. It's a fucking brilliant film. Basically, Jack Black is like a very enthusiastic guy who's like trying to invent stuff.
Yeah. And
Ben Stiller's his neighbour who's like his best friend, but he's also like, will you just stop inventing this stuff? Trying to invent shit. And eventually he comes up with a invention called Vaporize, which basically is a aerosol can, which if you spray it on dog shit, it makes it disappear. And he asks his neighbour Ben Stiller, Jack Black asks Ben Stiller to invest some money into this invention so he can get it, across the country.
Yeah. And
Ben Stiller just goes, no, fuck off. So Jack Black goes off on his own and becomes a multi-millionaire from it, and he ends up building a mansion across the road from this guy's house. It's absolutely brilliant. Oh, hello. Someone's not a fan of the film.
Oh, she's been a pain in the arse, aren't you?
Well, it's got Christopher Walken in it as well, so it's a winner. It's a winner, and anything with Christopher Walken is just pure gold. I'll have to let you have a borrow of it anyway, mate.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think. It's a cracking film. Absolutely cracking film.
There's one I have like that, which sort of it's not one of my go-tos, but it is sort of a film I can sort of just watch, and I don't really know why. It's meant to be like a sort of black comedy, but there's not much in it in terms of comedy. It's a film called Extract.
I've not heard of it.
It's a Mike Judge film where it's Jason Bateman? Or no, Jason Sudeikis, I think it is, from Horrible Bosses. There's like him and Mila Kunis in it.
Oh yeah.
And he runs like like fruit or like he does like food extracts.
Oh yeah.
Flavor extracts. But one of his employees has like an accident, and Mila Kunis is like a con artist. And so she finds out about this guy who's had the accident, and then tries to get, like, sort of sue the guy, like, get with the guy to sue him to sue the company owner to get them, like, to get, like, a fuck ton of money off him or something.
Oh, yeah.
And sort of ends up, like, he sort of, the company, like, Jason Sudeikis, whatever, ends up sort of falling for her and all that sort of thing. But it's like I think he finds out later on that she's a con artist. It's been a while since I've watched it, I can't remember, but it's a strange film because it's not one I sort of put it on and it's like, yeah, it was alright that, but it was on Netflix a while back and it's like, yeah, it's nothing on TV, I'll watch it again, sort of thing.
Yeah, I'll have to give that a whirl, I think, give it a try and see what, like I say, but yeah, my go-to is probably something on that long list that I mentioned. So,
for my probably more than likely go-to is one I've used a few times. It's been Fanboys.
Oh yeah.
That's been I sort of. I was in a really shit mood one night. I can't remember why it was. I was just in a naff mood. I was like, I'm going to watch Fanboys. And I was watched it afterwards. I was like, I feel better after watching that.
See what? Actually, tell a lie. There's actually one that's absolutely superior to every single one of those films that I've just mentioned. And that's the original Clerks film.
Good lad.
Yeah, the original black and white one. Because that was basically my job in 2008.
You lucky bastard.
It was amazing. The winter time in 2008. That was me. That was my job. It was absolutely brilliant. I got paid to stand there, get discount chili from the cafe next door, eat that, and play PSP and get really good at Street Fighter Alpha 3. That was basically my job.
Nice.
It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, on that note, shall we move on?
Yeah, I think so. Well, my last, it's my last topic now. But I've sat on the bus the other week and it's like it pops. I don't know why it pops in my head. But I've tickled myself with it to the point where I'm sort of laughing to myself. But I sort of keep a thingy look about myself.
Keep some decorum.
Yeah, to make people think I'm not weirder than I already am.
You'd fit in Blackpool anyway. You know that.
But it's essentially, is it me? Does Donald Trump not only act, but also look like a monstrous pervert of a man?
He does look like somebody. If he lived in, I'm not being funny, but I call it the Cliff Richard syndrome. Now, this is probably going to might get me in a little bit of trouble. But if he was in this country, he would honestly within a week he'd have the police knocking on the door with historical sex charges. He would do. The Rolf Harris and Fred the Weatherman syndrome.
It was just the way some of the facial expressions. He watched like these like stills from like debates and interviews he's done recently, and it's like he looks like he's sort of your pervy uncle. Yeah,
he looks like. Yeah, he looks like. Do you know what? He looks like that guy that hangs around the parks wearing trench coats.
Yeah,
he genuinely looks like that guy.
Rubbing his thighs.
Yeah, Vic Reeves style.
Ask you random questions like, where are you from?
Would you like a lollipop? Would you like to lick my lollipop? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's that kind of guy. He does definitely. He's proper shady looking. I mean, you'd never trust a guy with a toupee anyway. Or a comb over, for that matter. Fucking hell. Yeah, he's... Like I said, then... I'm not being funny, though. When it comes to trustworthy-wise, Hillary Clinton's not any fucking better. If anything, she's fucking worse. But it's like I say, I feel sorry for the Americans because they're your two main candidates. And like I said, I compared it to having a slot machine with needles sticking out of it. And it gives you sexually transmitted diseases. And if you don't, no matter if you win, you're not going to win because you're either going to get AIDS or hepatitis. You know, it's just which sexually transmitted disease do you want? You know, it's just not. It's not the fuck's that. Basically,
also comes down to the thing though of like they're either the first female president or they're gonna have like the second celebrity president
and the first cunt president.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, but if Trump goes into office, somewhere in the Middle East is going to turn into a crater. And my money's on Syria. If I'm brutally honest.
I'm partially thinking there's going to be like something involved with Russia, and then Putin's just sort of go, now our turn.
Yeah.
While he sips like a shot of really strong like Russian vodka as he fires a nuke.
You mean like that scene out of Fallout 3 when you blow up Megaton?
Never played it, so I'm going to say yes.
Oh, no. No, there's a thing where there's an atom bomb that's in the middle of the town called Megaton. And you got a choice of having, getting good karma and disarming it, or bad karma and arming it.
Right.
And you can you get this quest off a guy called who works for a guy called Tenpenny, and you end up standing on this balcony, and you actually get to press the detonator yourself, and you see this just massive mushroom cloud in the background.
Sounds like heaven.
Yeah, so it sounds similar to that. I can just imagine Putin just sat on a yacht just on the Mediterranean. You just see this great big fucking mushroom cloud coming out of Syria. Yeah, I can imagine that being Putin. In fact, I can imagine Donald Trump actually being in the next boat along. If I'm brutally honest,
it wouldn't surprise me after what I heard today, fella. It wouldn't surprise me, but it's like as you know, with me, I don't go into politics and stuff like that. So
no, I just think they're all a bunch of wankers, all the same. Every single one of them. There's no mainstream political party at the minute that represents my views. Yeah. You know, I'm not Liberal, I'm not Conservative, I'm not Labour, I'm not UKIP, I'm not any of the other dickheads that are out there. I'm just me, and I vote for the man. And I know Christ, he's a Conservative, isn't he?
He is, yes.
Yes, I'm as far away from being a Conservative as I possibly could, but if I lived at Squires Gate End, I would vote for him because I vote for the man. If that makes sense.
For the man.
Yeah, exactly. I vote for the guy locally.
Yeah.
Rather than who's actually sitting 300 miles away from me.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I vote for. Like I say, you vote for the guy that you know, and you know, I've known Christ since college, so you know, yeah. I think I can trust him. I think I can trust him. So yeah, I think that's all we've got, isn't it?
That's everything from me, fella.
Yeah, I've just got a few plugs to do. First of all, an old friend of mine, Sean Egan, is doing a 24-hour convoy on a game called Euro Truck Simulator 2, and he's doing it for children in need. It's at he's actually doing. I think he's doing it at an event called Truck Fest in Dover, at the Dover Seaport on the 18th of November. The Truck Fest itself starts at 6 p.m. and the 24-hour convoy he's doing it. I think they're doing it on a proper simulator setup as well. A 24-hour convoy. The convoy's setting off at 7 p.m. Again, it's the Dover Seaport. They're looking to raise £1,000 for children in need. So, yeah, if you get yourselves over to www.justgiving.com/fundraising/simulator radio. That's simulator radio. Just give what you can. Doesn't matter if it's a couple of quid or a couple of £100. You know, if you've got the money to spare. But just go if you give what you can. Let's get to that target that they're setting, because it is for a good cause. And I wouldn't want to sit in a truck for 24 hours. Let's be honest. But at least they're doing it for a good cause.
That's it, yeah.
Do you want to give yourself some plugs, Coxie?
Yeah, go on then. Even though I'm on your show, but
Yeah, well, you're doing me a favour, mate. So, go ahead.
It's all right. Yeah, check out the Lost Art Podcast on Spreaker, Stitcher, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, Lost Art Podcast, and Twitter at Lost Art Podcast. I think that's everything.
Well, obviously you can find us on Spreaker, which obviously, hopefully you listen to us on there, but you can also find us on YouTube. I would post a link, but it's fucking ridiculous and it's just random letters at the minute. But yeah,
subscribers up.
Yeah, we need to get them subscribers up so we can actually give you a proper link. But yeah, if you just search for us on UK RAD podcast, you'll find us. On Spreaker, the same. If you go to the Facebook group, www.facebook.com/UKRAD podcast, we'll get the links for the podcasts there. And also, we keep you up to date. You can post listener topics and things like that. Next up, we're on Twitter. I nearly forgot Twitter. At UKRAD podcast. See, I even fuck up the podcast. It's a good job of recording as live, isn't it?
Sorry, mate, I forgot your podcast handle the other day. I had to sort of frantically search through Christ's phone.
So I forget it myself, and it's my podcast. But also, just check us out on Twitter at UKRAD podcast. And just finally, check out the sponsor of the PCW Prediction League. He bought my trophies. For the Prediction League, so I said, I'll give him a shout out on here as well, because he's a good lad and he deserves it. If you're looking for somebody that to spruce up your home security, such as CCTV, or if you're just looking for static security, or if you're if you're a business and you need a bit of security on your door. Go to www.advent-guardsecurity.co.uk. That's www.advent-guardsecurity.co.uk. Thank you very much, Coxie. It's been a pleasure.
On, fella.
Yeah, you're welcome back.
Emotional.
It has been emotional. I'm wiping tears away as we speak. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
It has, mate.
Welcome back anytime.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening, guys. Thank you for the support. Keep on listening. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. Tell us what we're doing well. More importantly, tell us what we're doing shit. I've been Paul, the Hat Guy Flinders.
I've been Coxie.
Thank you for listening to the RAD podcast. Thank you and good night.